So here's the GPS mount for the Skandic. So what I have to do is wire red to red and black to black here. I'm going to snip this connector off. They gave me a connector that would push together and it had the metal prongs, but I destroyed both of them trying to get them crimped onto the wires. So I'm just going to splice the wires, solder them, and then this plugs into the machine, and then this will go to the USB port on the new snow machine. So if I have to disconnect, I just disconnect everything, but you should never have to disconnect this. This door mounts here. So this is the glove box extension for the new Skandic. So I'll have GPS, a USB port inside the glove box here. I need to get this mounted right there. I've already drilled the holes and then splice the wires together. So I'll be taking that back into town with me. Also the small windshield. I'm taking the tall windshield off. Or at least that's the plan right now. I don't need rear view mirrors, and I definitely don't need the big windscreen. All that happens to those is they end up getting broken. So I have a low windscreen. I'll be taking that and the glove box extension in, and it'll give me a place to store stuff inside too. But let me get this mounted first. I need to drill a hole through here, but let me sort that out where I need that hole. So I could buy a new GPS mount that'll plug right into this harness. It's $60. I can just splice this old style Garmin into the new style harness. Really no big deal. So what I need to figure out is I have to drill a hole in here also. So I'd really like this to be behind the mount. But that's not doable. It's gonna have to be a hole right here. I'm going to drill that hole center mass right here. One more larger. Okay. Well, okay. So the GPS will mount right into here. Little release button up here. So this will power up automatically when I start the snow machine. All right, just go back into town and I'll have my GPS mount. when I bring the new snow machine out. So this morning I'm going to run down my section of the trail, the one that goes back to town, and do some more trimming on it. The temperatures are extremely high. Everything's icy. There's only a couple inches of snow. So we'll see how much I can get done and see if this trail back to town is even doable. So this is the very first section of the trail. I've already done some trimming in here, but a couple things are rubbing on the snow machine as I come through, and just gonna cut that back. So this will all go away once we get more snow, but I'm tired of waiting for the snow. It's taking forever to get here this year. Quick trim right here, and I'm on to the next section of the trail. So a couple days ago, this small pond didn't have any overflow, but it does have a little bit right now. The next lake is definitely going to have some overflow. This one has a little bit. It's the first big hill, and I do have a sled behind me, so I need to be careful going down. And I can already see some overflow on here. I did compact it a couple days ago, so I'll mostly stay on this compacted section of the trail. There you can see some overflow there. So I spent a couple hours trimming, and it does not look good. Since the snow is so low, there's a lot that needs to be cut, and the snow is not covering a lot of the big pits along the trail, so likely to get stuck in those pits right at this time. So just now coming across that long leg, there was multiple sections of overflow. Some of it was icy and some of it was pretty sloppy. This section that I'm going through right now, I spent an entire day cutting this. There's several trees down in here. I had to buck them up and get them out of the way. This section actually had 2 trees down. You can see them over there on the right side. This tree fell straight down the path, so I just made a little detour around it. I didn't feel like bucking that whole thing up and getting it off the trail. 2 trees down right here. I'm driving over one, and the other one's right to the left side, parallel with that one, but neither one of them are in my way. Especially after you get another foot or 2 of snow, neither one of those trees are a concern. So the first attempt right here, I actually spun out. I had to back down and make a second attempt. So overall, my thoughts on this is there's no way I'm going to be able to get back into town while I'm home this month. And I need the new snow machine out here because this one is sold when I go to work. This one is going to my neighbor. Next time I'm home, I need the new utility sled. Gotta have it. The plans have changed. There's not enough snow, and there's not going to be for me to get that sled out here. So I hired a heavy lift helicopter to bring this thing out, and they're on the way right now. So that is the plan. They're going to rig up the Skandic and fly it out here. We'll set it down over on the west side and land here on the east. I'll have my sled out here, but extremely expensive for a heavy lift helicopter. But I had no choice. I was going to fly back into town in the Raven and drive the Skandic back out, but it's just not going to happen with 3.5, 4 inches of snow. It's like 36 degrees right now. We got that much snow on the ground. It used to be a foot when I first got out here, but it's next to nothing right now. It's got to be out here because the white snow machine is sold to my neighbor on the hill. And next time I come home, I need it for water and wood, so it needs to be here. All right, guys, there's the new snow machine. It's going to replace the white one. So it's black and like a gray, almost white. It's much larger, heavier sled. The same type of suspension, the Pogo suspension. Much more towing capability than the Tundra. It's going to be a little more less tippy. Well, the Tundra's meant to be tippy, and it would be a horrible snow machine if it wasn't tippy. The Tundra's absolute awesome sled in its own right, and I may get another one. I really would like to have 2 utility sleds out here, so maybe I'll next year get a Tundra to do all my light work. So if you look at the tracks, that one I believe is 15, it could be 16, but I think that's 15-inch. And then this one's 24-inch. And this one tows 1,500 pounds with the accessory heavy-duty bumper, which I'm going to put on there. The other difference is the transmission has a low range and a high range. This is just one range. This has a reverse button, and that one you actually have to pull the reverse lever. I have the big cargo box and another cargo bag type box that goes here. This one you can also ride 2 passengers. You're really not supposed to on the Tundra. On this sled, you have a big compartment here, and your battery sits in there. Any stuff that you put in here is going to stay warm because of the tunnel, the heat from the tunnel. If you don't know, a snow machine circulates coolant through the tunnel. The snow that gets kicked up off of the track is what cools that tunnel down and circulates cool water back to the engine again. So this has the 900 ace engine. That's the 600 ace. This is essentially the same engine except for one more cylinder. I've got the wide skis for it, but the problem with putting them on is I won't be able to get across the bridge. So anytime I make a town run, I'm going to have to put the skinny skis on. While I'm out here working, I am going to put the big skis on. Because I don't run into town maybe but once or twice a year.